SAE is boutique in its approach. I kind of like that. I don't think it's trying to tackle the 800-pound gorilla, at least not yet. You know, with 56 campuses around the world, it's hard to say that there's not an effect that SAE does not have. In my opinion, SAE is still the underdog, and a lot of people, they definitely cheer for the underdog and vote for the underdog. So I see SAE positioning itself as being a leader in creative content, media education. I always tell my students, you know, yes, we have to teach you from a book, but I'm going to teach you from real life. So, and I have my instructors do the same thing. You know, we could teach you how to mix from a book, but then when we sit down in front of the council, it's like, yeah, okay, that's how they might have explained it there. But here's my tip and here's my trick. This is how I sub-stem and this is how I bust. And this is, you know, it's not off from the output, but it's on the insert of the track. But the classes are real. And the labs are real. I mean, and we hold the students accountable to it.
Each individual student's going to have a different vision for what they want to do post-graduation. I myself specialize in working in larger studios, so that's what I bring to the table. And a lot of people are interested in that, but they're not necessarily prepared for that. And so that's our job to prepare them for that. Some of them want to do live sound, so we have live sound classes. Some of them want to do sound for theater, so it's a variation of live sound, but obviously very different. Post-production for film, for commercials, for TV purposes. Some of them want to be composers, producers. It's a very eclectic group of students that we have here, and I believe Rico Lumpkins has put together a really good team of unique individuals to fill all these different gaps.
We try to touch on every kind of facet of audio technology that could possibly lead to gainful employment, you know? I mean, in the studio section of teaching, which is that's kind of my domain here, but it all has to build on a solid foundation of understanding audio. So we try to build a really solid foundation in the early semesters that they can build on and then get some really kind of practical techniques to be fast and to be good. Jeff Leibovich at Vintage King was pretty instrumental in helping curate the outboard gear selection, and he put together, you know, kind of exemplars of practical studio stuff that the students are going to see out there in, you know, any other commercial studio that they might work in.
We bring the real world into the studios, the classrooms, and vice versa. We take the classrooms into the real world. So you're going to see an independent, small format studio. You're going to see a medium format studio. You're going to see a large format studio. So when they leave here, they'll be comfortable in any environment. We also teach them multiple DAWs. So they're not just focused on, you know, maybe just Pro Tools only or just Logic or just Ableton, but they get a decent, fair shake and mix of all of them.
I got to come over here before everything was built up, you know, all the different rooms were wired completely differently. It was really cool to see the evolution, and then fast forward a year or so later, I start teaching here, and I really got to see the evolution. I got to see all the hand-in-hand workings of Vintage King and SAE, and I think it's a great partnership. Right now we're doing good work, and we're, you know, still being relatively young. We're still ironing out some kinks here and there, but our curriculum's strong. Our instructor staff is strong, our administration's strong. So I mean, there's nowhere to go but up, in my opinion. I have a whole lot of faith in SAE Chicago.
When Vintage King becomes a partner, not only on a local level, they're partners on a national level, and that keeps everything a constant from campus to campus. So if they were to leave here and go to New York or Miami or Nashville, they're going to have the same experiences utilizing the equipment. And I think that's key. I mean, it's kind of the glue to what Vintage King does for SAE. I mean, it's been nothing but a pleasure to play with toys that I don't even have at home. So it's great to work with Vintage King and their product knowledge and their expertise.
It's pretty cool sometimes when you can show students a way of using a piece of gear that they haven't thought about before. I always like to use gear kind of in non-traditional ways when I can, in creative ways, and when you can show them something like that and see their faces light up and you know, see the ideas starting to form in their heads for ways that they could borrow that technique and use it in something that they're working on, that's pretty cool.